fact is that the Palestinians have lived under occupation, and Gaza
They're not under occupation. They have their own state.
That's
Gaza
nonsense.
is a state, and it is run by Hamas, and they had one election, which, as Trevor said, the people voted for Hamas. Hamas then killed the opposition, and they've never had an election since. But they could have a state if they wanted a state.
Everyone, how you are doing? Welcome back again to another bit and amazing reaction video. Guys, we have this interesting video in our list where Douglas Murray is one of the speakers. So the title of this video goes like this: Douglas Murray calmly dismantle Muslim woman on BBC. I'm so sure you're going to love and enjoy every bit of this. So no further talking, let's dive into it and check it out.
I'm joined now by Douglas Murray of the think tank, the Henry Jackson Society, and by the Labour MP, Rushanara Ali. Welcome to both of you. Rushanara Ali, is there anything realistically that the West, the European Union, the British government can actually do to solve this conflict?
Well, we need the European Union and including the British government to work together to show leadership and also to act as an honest broker. And what we've seen yet again is that Israel has shown complete disregard for humanitarian issues. Some 600 people and civilians, 100,000 seeking refuge. And we need the European Union to be a strong voice in recognising, of course, Israel needs to maintain its security, but its reaction and response is not proportionate, and we need the European Union, including the British government, to speak up and work towards resuming peace negotiations, which have been completely elusive over recent years.
How does Israel maintain its security without this sort of violence that escalates?
Well, this sort of violence and the death of so many people, particularly Palestinians, of course there have been casualties on the Israeli side as well, but the vast majority have been Palestinians, won't secure Israel, won't provide long-term security. What we need is the international community to work together. But also, Israel needs to respect international humanitarian law, international law generally, and that's not happening.
Has Israel disregarded humanitarian and international law by going into Gaza in the way they have?
No, not at all. Apart from anything else, the very muted response, and indeed in many cases a very encouraging response for Israel from the international community, is, I think, testament to the fact that it is playing not just by the rules, but by the most stringent rules imaginable. The reason why the casualties exist in the Gaza is obviously because Israel is trying, as an operational objective, to stop Hamas and other jihadist groups from firing rockets into Israel. In order to do that, Israel is carrying out a very, very targeted campaign. Now, it is inevitable in that civilians are going to be killed as well. And one of the reasons why that is happening, excuse me if I just finish, one of the reasons why it's targeted, because they are trying to get the launch pads that the rockets are coming from. Now, one of the reasons why there is a problem from this, of course, is that Hamas has, and incidentally CNN has the tape of this, among others, has been encouraging the people of Gaza to, quote, protect the houses of Hamas commanders, to actually congregate around areas which the Israelis have dropped leaflets and texted civilians to say this area is going to be hit. Hamas has actually tried to maximize the casualties. So that's the first point. As for how this is to be stopped, I think there's a very important thing that we do not, the international community does not simply perpetuate this conflict in trying to stop Israel from achieving the operational objective of stopping the rocket fire. The international, this is the third time now that this has happened,
well,
and I would suggest
it's more than the third time.
No, the
actually.
third time there's been this exchange since 2007.
Right. Okay. I mean, we'll look at the operational and what actually both sides are hoping to achieve. But Rushanara Ali, you told a demonstration at the weekend that David Cameron had failed to show international leadership. My party is with you, and the Labour Friends of Palestine are with you. Do you have Ed Miliband's support for your line on this conflict?
Well, Ed Miliband has made it absolutely clear that the incursion, the ground incursion, he said this only yesterday as well, the ground incursion is not one that is supported. We recognise Israel's demand, as Ed Miliband has said, to for its security, but its response has been disproportionate. And the point about international leadership is, if you look at what David Cameron said in 2010, he described the blockade of Gaza as an open prison. Gazan people are suffering, and what there seems to be a collective amnesia.
Is that the fault of Hamas as well as Israel?
Of course, these groups. The point is that the public the public, Palestinians are suffering, and the international community has a responsibility to respond to the needs of those people.
I must just ask you, Douglas Murray, on the issue of operations. The last 10 years, there have been a series of ground and air operations by the Israeli Defence Forces on Hamas, and there are at least half a dozen of these. The rockets still continue to come into Israel. So the argument could be, are these Palestinians, innocent Palestinian civilians, losing their lives for nothing? The Israelis are not achieving their aims. The rockets continue from Hamas, and, all right, you are saying that they hide their munitions, their rockets and militant leaders in civilian buildings. But in the end, the Israelis have not stopped the rockets coming in, and more Palestinians are dying.
I mean, anyone interested in bringing peace to the region has to bear in mind the very serious learning curve that Israelis went through when, after the withdrawal from Gaza in 2005, they got not peace from Gaza, but rocket fire, thousands and thousands of rockets. So what they've been trying to do since is to stop the rocket fire. And as I say, since 2007, Hamas did a coup, a military coup in the Gaza, and killed their fellow Palestinians from Fatah and other parties. The Israelis have, on 3 major occasions now, gone in. Now, the problem with this is that the international community tends to allow Israel some weeks in order to achieve the operational objective.
They're going to lose international support, aren't they,
now,
Israel?
The crucial thing, just to add on this, is it is very important that Israel is allowed to win at some point. The international community is quite good at prolonging the conflict precisely by not allowing Israel to achieve its operational objective.
What does a win look like in this case? I mean, can there ever be a military solution to this problem of particularly Gaza and Israel rather than the West Bank and Israel?
It's a platitude, but it happens to be true here. There are going to be no winners here, whatever the outcome. I think that, you know, if I can speak personally, my heart is rather with what Roshanara says. However, I have 2 caveats. One is, I really dislike the tendency, particularly from the media here, always to put Israel in the dock here. The truth of the matter is that the people of Gaza actually voted for Hamas. And they voted knowing what would happen. Hamas has been very clear. It has no intention of making peace with Israel. So actually, you know, this is a horrible, cruel thing to say. This is a result of a democratic outcome. And by the way, the really bigger issue here is Egypt, because that's what's really made the big difference here. So I think...
And Egypt is also worried about being on the border with Gaza.
The peculiar thing is, Israel and Egypt, relative to Gaza, are in exactly the same position right now. Yes. So I think that the notion of the way that we tend to report this, which is it's Israel versus suffering Palestinians, is just not right. That's not what this is about.
I mean, Roshanara Ali, what is it that Hamas wants to achieve? I mean, what is it? I mean, Trevor Phillips says that people voted for Hamas as opposed to Fatah, to the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. They voted for Hamas knowing that they would be much more hardline. So what is it that they want?
I hope what Trevor's not saying is that by voting for Hamas, those who voted were in some way are now deserve, or you know, the punishment, collective punishment that is now being espoused.
No, that's an outrageous
let me finish.
thing to say.
Let me finish.
That's an outrageous thing.
You know, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I very much hope not. But the point is that this cycle of violence is going on and on. The fact is that the Palestinians have lived under occupation, and Gaza
They're not under
has
occupation.
been.
They have their own state.
They have
the
that's
Gaza
nonsense.
is a state,
that's nonsense.
and it is run by Hamas, and they had one election, which, as Trevor said, the people voted for Hamas. Hamas then killed the opposition, and they've never had an election since. But they could have a state. If they wanted a state, they could have a state.
Let Roshanara finish her point. You're saying that they are living under occupation.
There seems to be a bit of amnesia here about the history of what's happening in that region, and the fact that Palestinians don't have a state. They have, lived under occupation. They've lived under attack, and what we need is rapidly, in order to secure peace, which is rapidly eluding this region. We need the international community. We need leaders in America and European Union to work together to resume negotiations and to, first of all, bring an end to this conflict.
Well,
and
the end of the conflict will be fastest brought about by Hamas being thrown out of the West Bank by the Palestinians of the West Bank, or by any other force available. We've got to remember this. The two-state solution, such as it is, and it's a dream, but it's still a possible dream if you talk about the West Bank.
Do the Israelis genuinely believe believe in that.
Yes, I think they do, with the West Bank. The thing that is a problem, and is an irreconcilable problem at the moment, is what you do with Hamas, which wants to annihilate the Jewish state and does not want peace. That is a problem.
Right.
The real problem here is the agenda is now being controlled by people who don't want peace, whether it is the settlers on the West Bank or it's Hamas. That's the problem. How do we wrest the agenda out of the hands of those groups of people who, by the way, are not states? These are gangs.
Sure, and unfortunately, Gaza is run by a gang.
Guys, we are done watching the video, and the debate was really awesome. Yes, I can really see that. Guys, please, you can feel free to pass your opinion under the comment section in a very peaceful manner, okay? Guys, like, sometimes I keep thinking, like, what does these two people want? What do they really want? Like, I mean, when is this whole thing when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? Because you see, all these things that have been happening, you know, the innocent ones, their life are, and they are the people who are more involved in this. Guys, like, I keep talking about the video I watched on, was it October 7? Guys, like, when I saw that clip, when I watched the news, it was really hurting, because a lot of the innocent people's life, they were all involved. I just pray that someday this whole thing will come to an end. Someday it's going to come to an end. That is my prayer. There's this particular video that I shared recently, where Charlie Cake, he asked the guy this question. He said, okay, he said, what will happen when Hamas drop their weapon and the Israelites drop their own weapon? That what is going to happen? And the guy said that there's going to be peace. And he also said that, what if the Israelites drop their and the Hamas refuse to drop their weapon? What is going to happen? Guys, they go on. I don't know why, for goodness sake, like, peace is better than fight. I don't really know what these two people want. I don't really know what they want, and I don't know what they are fighting for. They have been, they have been fighting this for so long, and I think they should start putting the life of the innocent one, the mothers, like, they should start considering these people first before embarking on that war. There have been a lot of protests here and there, and nothing seems to be changing. Nothing seems to be changing. Guys, like, when is this whole thing going to end? When is it going to end? These two people, like, when are they going to realize that it's more better to live in peace than to live in, or is it like, I don't even know how to put it anymore. Are they trying to say that, okay, if you give me, I will give you back? If you challenge me, I will challenge you back. If you fight me, I will fight you back? To me, that is not wise, and to me, that is not going to bring peace at all. I think these two people really need to come together and embrace peace, embrace harmony, live in peace, because of the innocent ones. People are crying. Guys, like, what happened to the peace before? The peace that were there those days, what happened to it? Because I believe from the onset it wasn't like this. I believe these two people were living in peace before. Like, what happened to it? Where did it go? Where did the peace go? I think it's time for them to start remembering all the beautiful memories, all the beautiful relationships that they had in the past, because I believe that they were once living in peace, right? I mean, like, nobody enjoys nobody. No matter how you're trying to, to shine away from it, that you are enjoying, that is not possible within you. You know that you doesn't like it. I think these two people should just, surrender. They should surrender. Guys. They should surrender. That is just my earnest prayer. There is nothing as good as when someone has peace of mind. There is nothing as good as when a country is in peace. There is nothing as good as when a society is living in peace. There is nothing like when a family is living in peace. And there is nothing like as good as when the world is in peace. I mean, the fight, it has lasted for a long while now, and I think it's time for them to to come to realization that what they have been doing is totally unacceptable, that what they are doing is totally bad in the eyes of humans and in the eyes of God. I mean, guys, like what will happen for, like, what will it take for that peace to reign again? What will it take for the peace to exist between these two people? What will it take? What would it take? Sometimes I keep asking myself, what will it take? I just thank God for the internet, because if not for the internet, like, a lot of us will not be seeing all these things. A lot of people. I just pray that God's intervention come between the Israelites and the Hamas. That is just my prayer. Guys, like, I do not pray to witness. I do not pray to witness it at all. I do not, because it's so heartbreaking. It's so touching. Like, I do not even wish. I do not wish anybody to experience that at all. Living in peace is the best. Whether you have, whether you don't have, I think is the best thing that can happen to any man, that can happen to any organization, any society, any community, any country. Living in peace is just the best. Like, I mean, there is no gain in fighting. No gain at all. The Bible says vanity upon vanity, they are all vanity. What would you gain? What would you achieve? What? The two of these people should just surrender for God's sake. They should surrender for goodness sake. They should surrender and embrace that peace once again. Because the life of the innocent ones, they are being involved. People that knows nothing about this. People have been wishing and asking God, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? Most of them, they have gone. Guys, like, I feel it is well. I just pray that that peace locates Israel and the Hamas, the Palestine. Yes, I just think that the peace of God found them and locates them. Guys, what do you think about this video? What do you think? Please kindly pass your various opinion in the comment section, and because I believe your comments can go a long way, and please pass it in a very, very peaceful and respectful manner, okay? because we are all here to make peace. So guys, stay tuned and see you all in my next one. Bye.